one sweep Caroline, the Miami Dolphins fall to 1-4 after playing the Panthers.
Ay bendito! The Miami Heat start their preseason in Puerto Rico.
And slithering to victory, a local snake tournament of ping pong. All of this and more on the sideline.
Hello, South Florida, and welcome to the Sideline, the place where you get all the highlights for your South Florida teams. I'm Raquel Kurt.
And I'm Alejandro Hernandez, and the sideline starts now. The Miami Dolphins were in complete control against the Carolina Panthers yesterday until the game started to slip away.
The Finns started strong with a 17-0 lead in the second quarter, but Carolina stormed back to close the gap and took a 20-17 lead in the fourth quarter. Jalen Waddle put Miami ahead late, but Bryce Young answered with a game-winning drive, handing the Dolphins a disappointing 27-24 loss.
The Miami Hurricanes got the best of Florida State in dominant fashion, taking the win 28-22. The final score doesn't tell the full story of this game. A 6-point win suggests a tight game, but Miami was actually up 28-3 after 3 quarters, with Florida State adding 19 points in garbage time. Miami quarterback Carson Beck was flawless, throwing for over 240 yards and 4 touchdowns. He is continuing to rewrite the narrative set against him after his struggles at Georgia, showcasing his true potential as one of the nation's top quarterbacks on the Hurricanes.
Inter Miami fans are celebrating this morning after Messi's triple assistance in the win against New England. Inter Miami faced off against New England Revolution with a 4-1 victory on Saturday night. Tato Alande and Jordi Alba each scored a goal with Messi's 3 assists. Miami is third in the Eastern Conference, standing with 59 points.
The Orlando Magic defeated the Miami Heat in preseason action. Orlando blew open the game with a dominant third quarter led by sharp shooting and crucial bench production. Miami fought back late, but Orlando held on behind balanced scoring and smart defense, ending with the final score of Magic 126, Heat 118. The Heat's next game is 7:30 at Kaseya Center against the Milwaukee Bucks.
Ping pong fans gathered for a day of fun, competition, and community.
Sideline reporter Sabrina Lozano has the story from the Snake Tournament.
I'm here at the 5th edition of the Snake Tournament of Ping Pong, hosted by Casa Vela Studios, where players are inside battling it out for the Snake Trophy. Now, from friendly matches to fierce competition, today is all about fun and showcasing your skill. So let's go check it out.
Players from all over pack Cascabel Studios for a day filled with excitement, competition, and community. From custom t-shirts to shiny trophies waiting to be claimed, it's a celebration of passion, skill, and a sport that connects everyone one rally at a time. Ping pong or table tennis might look simple, but the game moves fast. It takes just a split second to react, and the best players use every trick in the book. Backspin, topspin, or the unpredictable snake shot, which might just explain this tournament's game. Ping pong or table tennis might look simple, but the game moves fast. It takes just a split second to react, and the best players use every trick in the book. Backspin, topspin, or the unpredictable snake shot, which might just explain this tournament's name. And when the moment's right, players like to use a lightning-fast finisher to end the game. Beyond the speed and skill, ping pong is about rhythm, focus, and flow. And for some, this event has become a tradition. One longtime competitor shared what keeps him coming back.
It's my 5th time coming to the tournament to participate and hang out with friends. I learned a bit about ping pong by playing during school in recess, even though I played more soccer. I learned most of the rules of ping pong in my first tournament when I came. Since I'm active, I managed to hold my own a bit. For those who have never played like me, it's a great cardio workout. It's very dynamic, it helps with your reflexes, and it's pretty fun when you're playing with friends and you share those moments.
Ping pong is a workout for the body and mind. It sharpens reflexes, boosts coordination, and brings people together in a way few games can. Whether you're here to win or just to rally with friends, everyone leaves with a smile and a story.
We've seen some unbelievable matches and some serious talent here at the Snake Tournament of Ping Pong, all wrapped up in great vibes and some friendly competition. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Sabrina Lozano.
It's time for our favorite segment, Biggest W and L, where we talk about our biggest wins and losses. For this week, Raquel, start us off with your W.
Yes, my W for this week is more than just a win. Formula One touchdown in Singapore yesterday, where McLaren clinched their second consecutive Constructors' Championship, marking the team's 10th overall title win with an impressive 650 points on the season. While Papaya fans are celebrating this milestone, the atmosphere in the team wasn't all smooth sailing. Oscar Piastri left the race with a bitter taste in his mouth after his teammate Lando Norris made some aggressive moves right from the opening lap. Instead of stepping in with team orders to cool things down, McLaren let their drivers battle it out on track. As the dust settles, the question remains, who of the Papaya boys will be able to have the first McLaren driver since 2008 to claim the World Drivers' Championship?
All right, now shifting gears from the track to the octagon, Raquel, for my W, I have to go with Alex Poatan Pereira's thrilling victory and reasserting his dominance over the UFC world. On Saturday night, UFC 320 delivered several electric performances, but none stood out more than this one. This rematch between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev carried high stakes as Pereira sought redemption after being dominated for 5 rounds and losing his belt in their first meeting. This time, he reminded everyone why he's one of the most feared men in the sport. His precision striking, composure under pressure, and signature overhand right were on full display as he finished Ankalaev with a first-round TKO to reclaim his light heavyweight belt. This win wasn't just about the result. It showcased how effortlessly Pereira rises to the occasion, solidifying his status as a generational talent.
And what a talent Alex has proven to be. And now someone who hasn't been shown talent is my L for this week. I'm going to have to go with the New York Giants after their tough loss against the Saints. This game actually started with some light at the end of the tunnel as the Giants came out strong and took the lead in the first quarter. But whatever the Saints' strength must have kicked in fast, because by the second quarter, they caught up and pulled ahead by 2 points. From there, things only went downhill. The Giants fumbled the ball, and the Saints swooped in to recover it and scored a touchdown, crushing any hope of any kind of comeback and sealing their first win of the season. With Jackson Dart taking over for Russell Wilson and now leading the team at quarterback, Giants fans are hoping for a turnaround and a better record than 1-4. But hey, maybe these are just new QB growing pains, Alejandro?
I wish I could agree, but the Giants' schedule upcoming is an absolute gauntlet. They play the Philadelphia Eagles 2 out of their next 3 games, so that's definitely going to be a tough stretch for the Giants. But now I'm going to stay in the NFL, as for the Miami Dolphins, they completely struggled in their loss against the Carolina Panthers as they blew a 17-0 lead. There's simply no excuse for this type of loss. From horrible run defense to questionable play calling, the Dolphins looked completely lost after a strong start. Considering the Panthers are one of the worst teams in the league and the Dolphins have the way more talented roster, this kind of performance is unacceptable. If I'm being honest, Miami had absolutely no business losing this game. But if there's one silver lining, it's that this loss could finally force some accountability. At this point, it feels like the team needs a complete reset from the front office down. If that means moving on from the head coach Mike McDaniel and the general manager Chris Greer, then so be it. Because until the Dolphins find leaders who can finish strong and deliver in big moments, they'll keep finding new ways to turn promise into disappointment. All right, we have to go to break, but stick around because here's what's next on the Sideline. Sideline will take a timeout and we'll return after the break.
Really use a new tablet. I just don't have the money.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a Pell Grant?
Yes.
You do know you can get a free tablet, right?
Did you say free?
Yeah, free. It's simple. And the application is done in the store.
I could really use a tablet.
Go get one. another satisfied customer. Stop by PantherTech in the Graham Center at FIU MMC today to speak with one of our associates to get your free tablet.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life. But how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have something called prediabetes. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back, and now switching gears to the Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning, who turned a preseason game into pure chaos this weekend. And with the Panthers chasing a three-peat, that fire could be a preview of what's coming this season.
And we're bringing in sideline analyst Nicolette Espert to talk hockey today. Good morning, Nicolette.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. That was some crazy rivalry game, and we saw 13 ejections, 274 penalty moves, and even a goal taken back. What did you take away from that night?
I mean, like you just mentioned, it was a wild game. We haven't seen that in a very, very long time, but it was a Florida battle. It showed the Panthers' identity for sure. Aggressive, physical, and emotionally charged just as much as they are. They're not easing into the season. We know this. They're sending a message. Like I just mentioned, this was the Battle of Florida. It was a heated matchup from the start with the rivalry in the past that they've had, and with all those penalty minutes like you just mentioned. But that intensity has to be balanced. I mean, having an ejected player, one of their best defensemen, Nico Mikkola, who ended up on the ice during the brawl, it costed them a goal, and I think that this is now a wake-up call. They have that championship grit that everyone loves to talk about, but right now it's about discipline and execution, and I think that's got to be a focus point for Paul Maurice going into this first game.
100%. And you mentioned Nikola Mikkola, how he's facing a 10-game suspension due to penalty, but the Cats are also without Alexander Barkov and Matthew Tkachuk. So how does that impact their chances at a third straight championship?
Those are huge losses going into the start of the season. I mean, we see Barkov, who's out 7 to 9 months due to his ACL tear from that first practice of the season. Tkachuk's out until December. But, you know, we've seen this in the past. This team is built for depth. Bill Zito kept the core together. He knows how to. And there's also guys like Sam Reinhart and Carter Verhaeghe who have stepped up before. They know how to win shorthanded. And that's why the Cats are still ranked 4th in the NHL power rankings. So although it is a hard chase right now, the first three-peat since the 1980s by the New York Islanders, I definitely have faith in the team, and so do the fans. I mean, having a fan base who believe in this team, I spoke to some at FanFest a couple weeks ago, they have no doubt that the teamwork dynamic has not been lost, and like I mentioned, they have proven time and time again how they can overcome adversity.
100%. And now thank you for joining us again, Nicolette. And the Panthers opened their season on Tuesday against Chicago.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Thank you, Nicolette. We're going to move on now into this week's game picks. Sideline Sarah Mallorca gives us her insight on what's to come.
Good morning, I'm Sara Mallorca, and it's time for this week's game picks. The Miami Dolphins are back home this Sunday to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. The Dolphins have struggled to close things out this season, dropping a close one in Carolina yesterday. The Chargers, on the other hand, started off strong with wins over the Chiefs, Raiders, and Broncos, but have since stumbled with back-to-back losses their last 2 games. Recent history favors Miami, with the Dolphins taking their most recent matchup in 2023. But with Justin Herbert leading a more balanced Chargers offense and Miami still looking for consistency, I think Los Angeles will take this win. Now let's switch over to college football. The University of Miami has a huge ACC matchup this week against Louisville. Both teams come in with a lot on the line, and this one could have a big impact on the conference standings. Louisville's offense has been explosive, but Miami's defense has really stepped up this season, creating turnovers and making things tough on opposing quarterbacks. Add in the home crowd at Hard Rock, and I think the Hurricanes have just enough balance to control the game on both sides of the ball. My pick here is Miami to edge out Louisville in a close one. And finally, let's head to Major League Soccer. Inter Miami hosts Atlanta United on Saturday night. Atlanta is a team that can definitely score, but their defense has been shaky, especially when they go on the road. Miami, meanwhile, has been looking to find their rhythm again after a tough stretch, and this feels like the perfect spot for them to bounce back. With Messi back in form, I see Miami coming out with energy. My pick is Inter Miami to score the win over Atlanta. And that's it for this week's Game Picks. I'm Sara Mallorca, and back to you guys in the studio.
Just a reminder that if you want to keep up with updates, fun segments, and more from our crew, you can follow our Instagram, All Things Sideline. Follow us at sideline.caplin. That is it for today. I'm Alejandro Hernandez.
And I'm Raquel Kurt. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week on The Sideline.